Well, an endangered species is a beast considered highly likely to become extinct in the near future, fending increasingly for themselves. They're put at risk by the loss of territory. Their plight is made worse by ruthless poachers who often want to bring them down as a trophy to their own prowess. Sadly, these big beasts are sometimes too deluded to realise that it's already over. It's only the poor marksmanship of the hapless hunters that spares them their futures. Stanley Johnson is here.
You're not talking politics, are you? Piers.
Stanley, I'm obviously talking trophy hunting and endangered species. No, let's start first of all.
I sense a trap.
It's not a trap. Let's be completely upfront about this. Talking of endangered species who may be facing possible end. Your son Boris. I have to ask you about it because he won't come on the show. I've interviewed him in 7 years.
Now, let's talk, if I might, about endangered species.
Well, we will. But let's talk about Boris first.
All right.
Then we'll come to the trophy and your book. I'm just curious. You're his dad, right? He's been through one hell of a period in his life. He becomes Prime Minister. He gets Brexit done. He's then hit by a global pandemic. He's hit by a war in Ukraine. He's hit by all sorts of stuff, surging inflation now. In the middle of it, he gets COVID and nearly dies. His mother dies. You put all this together, that's a hell of a 2.5 years for any human being. As his father, when you've watched him go through all this, what have you been thinking?
I've been thinking I am very proud of this boy, of this man, of this PM. I mean, that's what I say to myself. I mean, he got, the big calls right, and as far as I'm concerned, he's got a lot of things right. OK, I'm an environmentalist. I think the way he pushed on climate change, the way he pushed on biodiversity, the way he pushed, if we get to it, to this issue about endangered species, it's fine. And honestly, if you ask me my absolute opinion on this, I'd say, I listened to what Imran Khan said to you the other day. People in Karachi are bewildered at the attention which this Partygate, Beergate or something.
But you know why it's rattled people. The Partygate is not really about parties, right? You and I have been to a lot of parties together, right? It's not about the parties. Yeah. It's about the time when he and his government were locking people in their homes and they couldn't go and see dying relatives who were literally dying in hospital from COVID. That was the rule, the law. When the Queen was at her own husband's funeral, sitting on her own because she wanted to abide by the letter of the law. There is Boris, the Prime Minister, being fined by the police for breaking his own law, and 84 of his staff fined for illegal partying. So that's the scandal.
No, well, I don't actually see it in that way, because I see it as something that happened on the 19th of June 2020, which was just a few weeks after he came out of hospital, having been really seriously ill. He steps by for 20 minutes. It's his birthday. It wasn't a birthday party, as I know.
He broke his own law, Stanley.
Yeah, come on. Come on, Piers. We're not done.
Don't take my word for it. Take the police's word for it.
OK. I think that is time to move on from that. It was a situation where, yes, he has a drink. He had a glass in his hand. And that was it. That was the end of it.
Yeah, but it's not about the drink, is it? It's about having a party which breaks his own rules.
Hey, Piers.
When he was telling other people every day from the podium, you can't do this. It's the doing one thing and preaching another.
Now, Piers,
you know that.
Look, I know you're in charge of this interview, and no reason why you shouldn't be, because you're the big cheese. But I didn't come here. As far as I'm concerned, it's high time we moved on to things which really matter, which are the things he is doing now. Do you see? It's the things he's doing, and you mentioned them. COVID, let's hope that's out of the way. Inflation, he's got to deal with it. Ukraine, well, who is taking the lead on Ukraine?
I think he's been good on Ukraine.
Yeah,